Well, hello there people! It's certainly been a while since the last episode. Because of reasons I really don't need to elaborate any further. But since I finally do have a free day, it's time to check out just how far the modding has progressed and take a look at all the best new mods. So I would suggest you set your monitors and speakers to overhype now, because this is going to be one long and juicy episode. Fire away for the intro. As the opening mod this time, we have the kind of stuff which goes well with Potter. Let's see them figure this one out. KS Hairdos, Addon with Physics, by Kelly Lee's Stealthic and Oliza Portorino. Yes, KS Hairs we all know and love from Skyrim. It was only a matter of time and of course effort till someone made a full port, with physics and everything included. Looks like everything is available for both genders here. Although most cuts obviously look, slightly overfabulated on males. What do you mean such a word does not exist? Well, it does now. I hereby proclaim its creation. So in other words, people, get yourself some fancy new hairs for your game. But be careful and don't overregulate, because that might make you overfabulate. The next mod aims to change the way we perceive reality itself. No, it's not about drugs, it's about a custom camera by Cadix. Well, we certainly are used to this subject from various Skyrim mods, and it looks like Fallout needs one too now. Things are just as you would expect then. Lots of sliders to change the position of different camera modes. The normal one, the combat one, a special option for power armor, and so on. You can also assign some hotkeys to, for example, switch shoulder perspectives from left to right, toggle free camera modes, and so on. There is also the possibility to save different settings into profiles as well. One important thing you should consider is, this mod is in beta state right now, and more features will be added in the future. Sounds promising. It also seems to do what it promises as it is now, without much insectose interferences, if you know what I mean. The sliders sometimes start having a mind of their own and literally turn into rebels, trying to defy the changes you wish to make. So I hope those children will be taught some manners as a part of a future update. Wow, the next one uses this famous intensifier word again. Immersive Movement by Zana Daniel. Alright, let's see just what kind of immersive moves this one got. What this mod aims to do is give humans and monsters in the game realistic speeds, and also make the movement speed realistic according to the situation. Running around with a drawn weapon will make you slower. Different kinds of weapons will also have different effects on your movement speed. Moving around with a Gatling gun is obviously harder than with a pistol. You will also notice that strafing and especially walking backwards is slower as moving forward. Aiming and sneaking will obviously decrease your movement speed even further. So if you are into sneaking, prepare to be a sneaky snail. I actually expected this mod to be a total gameplay rape, turning the player character into a combat snail while giving the enemies a rectal rocket power upgrade. But moving around with it actually does feel kinda realistic and believable. Well, fuck me. Oh yeah, and speaking of enemies, I fought a Deathclaw as a test, since those monsters received a set speed boost, and it was okay. Fast and dangerous, but in a realistic way. So, as the description says, step out of the vanilla fantasy and step into reality. Yeah, if I wanted that, I would just turn off the PC, mister. But jokes aside, it's a good mod. And this is pretty much it with the interesting stuff already. What comes next is the marathon of weapons and armors, so be prepared. The shooty stuff first. Light support weapon by Scail. This is another one of those classic weapons from Fallout 2. The visuals remind on the handmade rifle from Nuka World, and the overall looks do blend in seamlessly into the game. It has a quite exotic custom reload animation and also uses its own special 223 caliber ammunition. As for customization, we have quite a lot of options here. 12 barrels, 8 stocks, 8 magazines, 5 muzzles, 16 receivers, 6 reflex sights, 9 optical sights and 2 iron sights. and 3 different paint options to create some variety. Certainly a well-rounded up weapon mod. The next one is SmallHeavyGuns by M. This mod brings up a very simple question. Wouldn't it be fun to have the heavy weapons as a light and easy to use version? So yeah, this mod does add all the heavy vanilla weapons in compressed pistol or rifle-like form. So if you for some reason dislike the concept of heavy weaponry in the game, but would still like to use this kind of weapons, this sure works. It may sound a bit overpowered, simply because those weapons are much lighter and faster than the originals, but they are a bit harder to use in first person because of their shape. And yes, I totally realize this sentence doesn't make much sense. So, to answer the question, yes, it is pretty fun to run around the Commonwealth like a madman with a mini-nuke pistol. Next we have another comeback weapon, Riot Shotgun by the entire cast of the television show Friends. Well, if you say so. Anyway, this time it's a weapon from Fallout New Vegas. It comes with custom sounds, but not animations unfortunately. So yeah, it's best not to pay too much attention to the reloading. We have a couple of different modifications for this one, but it's a rather humble selection here. Fortunately, it does include some different paint options, so there is still enough variety ensured. Next comes a really juicy one, Cross Rugger Mark V by Nero. Cross in the title is a mark of quality, and speaking of mark, this is based on a real-life pistol with the same name, except that it's Mark IV. But since Fallout is in the future, no need for explanation, right? Very smart. This gun uses the Deliverer reloads animation, which fits very well. In terms of customization, this one definitely shines. We have those extended grips which turn the weapon into a pistol-rifle hybrid, lots of different color options for different parts of the gun, upper and lower rails to add more attachments, but what really sticks out is the power of science. You get 3 different Fallout-style modifications here, fire, freeze and plasma, all with very fitting futuristic visuals, which certainly makes this weapon a brilliant example of Fallout-themed weapon technology. The only fitting thing to say here is genius. But if you prefer making your enemies dead from close range, Yggdrasil Viking Sword by Billy Rowe. Not gonna lose many words on this one because it's shit. I'm just kidding. It's because I already reviewed it for Skyrim, and besides it's Billy Rowe quality. It's available as a 1- or 2-handed weapon here. And we have another one, Ronin Sword by TorqueDigital and Theara. Now this is a weapon which will probably look very familiar to you. It's a very common shape you often see in catalogs for cheap replicas. I guess it's supposed to be something like a modern-day ninja toe. So anyway, there are some vanilla-like upgrades available, but they are only for stats and do not actually show up in the game. One way or another, it's a clean and neat-looking sword. And on top of that, it goes really well with the sneaking suit. What more can we ask for? And just like with weapons, we have tons of armor mods piled up too. Let's try to make it brief then, starting with Dicky's Pinup outfits by Dicky FGW. What? How? Why? No matter how I look at it, it's just a bikini. Not even bikini armor, just bikini. Well, sure, there are some accessories, the hat, the gloves, the pseudo jacket, 2 different top options and also 2 different shoe options. You can also change colors on most parts, there's quite a huge selection. And also lots of different patches to put on the jacket to represent different factions. Besides, you can equip every part separately and in combination with vanilla and modded armor parts to make additions to outfits or create your own mashups. So at the end of the day, it is kinda a useful mod. Damn. But let's try something more practical. Wanderer's Trenchcoat by AVP3 Raptor, for males and females. I'm sure I already saw this exact trenchcoat in a different mod, just without the female option or CBBE support. And on this one you can also change the print on the back. The model itself is obviously based on Elder Maxon's trenchcoat. The next armor mod is Northgirl Armor by Dropsdale, yet another port from Skyrim. It's always interesting to see how different things look in this engine. The armor itself obviously looks nice and detailed. It has a very wolfy and even somewhat witchery style to it, I would say. And you can also change colors on some parts, but again a rather humble selection. And next we have Shino School uniform by Shinoboru. Well, what do we have here? A Japanese school uniform in my Fallout? Yeah, why not? If you folks are into mango and stuff, an interesting fruit, isn't it? You can eat it, but also read it. Okay, I'll stop. But we are not done yet. Wasteland Clothing by Mandarinn and Elianora. Yeah, no matter what the community might say, this is just a very simple, generic looking outfit. Sure, there is this utility belt and also lots of different skins, but seriously, this right here is this thing artists do sometimes, just to see what happens and how people react. Believe me, I work with art now, so I know what I'm talking about. Okay, last one, I promise. It's also really fancy. Colonial Attire by Yggdrasil 2. Definitely something different, am I right? Very retro looking, it's kinda like a cosplay right here. The models definitely have a high quality, probably from an Assassin's Creed game, just don't ask me which one. Might be something around Unity. When I said last one, I meant last outfit mod. The 4 Horsemen skull helmets by Shadowliger. The 4 Riders of the Apocalypse, you say? More like the 4 Raiders. Yes, 4 awesome and creepy looking wearable skulls. And if that's not enough, some absolutely sick looking wings. Now this stuff right here is absolute metal in every aspect. The wings also come in 3 different sizes. They actually remind me of the Birdman from the latest Spider-Man movie. He's actually called the Vulture. You should really see the original character he is based on. Look at this, it's just hilarious. Imagine if he looked like this in Homecoming. Yeah, we really need more joke superhero movies. You know, like the superhero movie. Alright, so we are well geared and dressed now. But we should also get something fancy for our robots. AutomatronClaptrap by M. Oh no, everything but not this guy. You know, I never was too fond of this style of Borderlands, but this guy, he was really the definition of annoying. So I'm very glad to say, fortunately, we do not get his voice lines here. Only a bunch of cool looking new parts for our bots. As usual, everything is very well done and looks fitting for the Fallout universe. If you think about it, Borderlands and Fallout are actually very similar in terms of overall concept and also of gameplay. Just as it usually is the case with M's mods, you can make funny combinations with existing robot parts, and on top of that you get some funny accessories to place on Claptrap's head. Well, technically it's his torso, but who cares, right? It's definitely a cool and funny idea for a bot. Maybe that voice wouldn't be that bad after all. And this is it for this week's episode. Yes, I said week deliberately. As always, the links to all mods are in the description below. Don't forget to endorse the mods you like. And if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more. I thank you all for watching, and see you around.